Welcome to the final chapter of how to create an online marketing campaign. So let's just briefly go over what we've done so far. So in the first video, I showed you how to create 6 short blogs for the next 6 months, and how to find 24 things that you can share on social media, and then also how to schedule them in Hootsuite. Then we created some ads. So we chose a page that we wanted to promote, and we put it into AdWords. We used AdWords Keyword Planner tool to identify the best words, and then we submitted the ads, into Facebook and LinkedIn and AdWords. And today, we're going to look at some of the stats and see how it went. The first thing I want to show you, though, is that when you do a post as a business page, you might only have a couple of hundred people following your business page, and all of them may not see it. But if you personally like it, then all of your friends or connections may see it as well. So I just want to show you an example of that. It's probably best illustrated on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, I created this internet marketing guide thing, the thing that you're watching today. And we can see that the people who've liked it, I'm one of them. Now, Spinning Planet only has 163 followers, but me personally, I've got 1,500 plus connections on LinkedIn, which are all business people and so forth. So if I like that post, then there's more chance that people will see it. So as we can see there, we've got 479 impressions. If I hadn't liked it and these other people hadn't liked it, at most it would have had 160 or so impressions. So that just increases your chances of somebody seeing it. Another trick that I haven't heard anybody else talk about is if you copy this text here, see how it's got the LinkedIn tiny URL? And if you paste that into Facebook, then when people click on it, it'll count as a link inside LinkedIn, which will increase the amount of clicks that you're getting in LinkedIn, which will make you sit higher in the stream over here. There'll be more chance of your post showing when people go to their timeline here. Oh, look, this is the campaign I've just finished running, but it's still got the blogs running, so I'll just click like, so that helps them get seen too. So because I've liked that, it may be shown up to, my 15 or 100 or so connections may see that I've liked that promotion. Right, so number 1 is personally like your own posts on social media because it helps them get seen. Now let's have a look at your Facebook, LinkedIn, and AdWords, and we want to look at how many people have seen your posts and interacted with your posts. So firstly, let's have a look at the organic side of things. So I'm just going to quickly have a look at a campaign that I ran last month. So if I go over here, so here's the LinkedIn. So when you go into LinkedIn, you click on Analytics up at the top, and it just gives you an overview of all the posts. So something really important here to take note of is, firstly, find the ones that everybody's seeing and clicking on, and do more of those. So we can see here 6 great things to do in Wanganui. Well, lots of people are interested in that. Even Wanganuiites are interested in that. So if you do a little post about that, and it doesn't have to be long, as we can see here, we've just uploaded this photo, and then it actually goes through to their website, which shows 6 things to do in Wanganui. That creates more interest and traffic to your website, so it gets shown to a lot more people. We can see this low-ranking one over here. Come to Wanganui for a unique tour of 10 dining rooms. I actually think that sounds pretty interesting. But it only got 1 interaction, which means that it only gets 53 impressions. Whereas we can see here, the Ashley Park Country Fair, that did generate more interest. I'm not normally that concerned about impressions. I'm more concerned with clicks and interactions, such as people liking or commenting, because the more clicks and the more interactions you get, the more impressions you'll get anyway. And this also shows that people are genuinely interested in the content. So if we were going to do a report, let's say for our boss or just for yourself, I'd be concentrating on how many more clicks you're getting. Right. And then we can also see down here we've got our reach. That's last 15 days. Let's go to the previous month. And actually, can we do last 3 months, just so we can compare it. So we can see that since we ran our campaign, it wasn't getting anything before. This company was pretty much dead on LinkedIn because they'd been concentrating on Facebook, but their target market is business people, so that's why we pushed it up in LinkedIn. But you can see that since we've been running the campaigns, from reaching no people, they're reaching up to 400 people there. And there's also a lot more engagement going on. And then we can see what types of people they are, like senior management, vice president, entry level. And again, this is our target market. This is who we're looking for. So now let's go and have a look at Facebook. And if we go over there, so I've done it from the 1st of November to now. And again, we can see that previously nothing was really happening. But when we started running those scheduled campaigns of posts and blogs, the engagement, interaction, and so forth just, went up huge. So we can see over here that before we began the campaign, it was next to nothing, and total page likes is now increased to 199, and that's just because content was going up there. And then we can go down and we can again see organic likes, which are the light ones, and paid likes because we ran a Facebook ad. So let's go and have a look at that Facebook ad. We can go over here and have a look at reach. Again, not that concerned about reach, but it might help if you're drilling down into the content to look at your demographics and so forth. What's the age group of people looking at it? Like, because this is a motel, of course, we don't care if younger people are looking at it because they're not the target market. The target market is business people. So you're looking from 20s to 50s sort of thing. And then we can look at page views and the actual posts themselves. And, and we can see the popular ones. Again, it's that 6 great things to do in Wanganui. And the event guides. So we can see that they should be doing more of those posts. Let's go and have a look at some ads. So here's the ad campaign I ran for them that was targeted at business travellers. And I was just taking them to their homepage. It's turned off now. But as we can see, they got 236 clicks. Now, Google's rough stat is that out of those clicks, roughly 2%, the average is 2% of people would take the desired action. In this case, it would be book a room. So, they should have got at least 2 people sign up. Of course, book a room. Of course, we'd want more, but that's a pretty good result. And it reached 12,000 people. And the cost was actually really quick. It was really cheap. It was less than $1 a click. So Facebook is actually quite good for that stuff. Let's go and have a look at some other metrics. So I wanted to show you some paid advertising for a different campaign I did. The goal of this campaign was not actually to get clicks through to the website, but it was actually to get people to like the Facebook page. So the ad was for the Brinix stick that I created, which is my version of Linux on a USB stick that you can boot up live. And it was really just an experiment for me. But the goal was to get people liking the page, because if I got lots of people liking the page, then every time I post to it, there's more chance that those people will see it. So we can see that over 1,000 people took action, 44 people liked the post that I did. 27 people commented on it. It was shared by 22 people. It was clicked 30 times. But the page got 919 likes. So every time I posted that page, it's got over 1,000 followers now, but every time I post to that page, up to 900 people are going to see it. So you can see that, for $475, that campaign worked out really well. Now let's go over and let's have a look at Google AdWords. So I'm just bringing up an old campaign here. Again, not that concerned about impressions, more concerned with clicks, because from clicks we can actually tell what people are really interested in. So we can see here that truck rentals, it got 80 clicks, 1,000 or so impressions. Click-through rate was 6.97%. That's actually pretty good. And the average cost per click was only $1.50. So total cost was $120. So $1.50 is really good. You're normally paying around about $2 for a click. It depends on what business you're in, such as if you're a motel or a hotel, the click rate's probably going to be a lot more, the cost per click, because it's so competitive. But because in this instance we were targeting trucks, well, that's totally different from, let's say we can see it here, from cars. So car hire, of course, it's over $2 a click because it's more competitive. But again, what's the important thing to look at here? How many clicks you're getting. So we can see here that rental car, because you know that if you search for rental car, you're just going to get lots and lots of results. It's going to be way more competitive. There's less chance of them clicking on there. But when you've got something specific like truck rentals or even van hire, which is actually what this company concentrates on, not really the rental car stuff, then you're going to get a lot more clicks, a lot more impressions, better click-through rate, and a cheaper cost per click. Now let's just go back and see where we are. So how many clicks are you getting from Facebook, LinkedIn, and AdWords? And do you need to increase budget? So an example would be if they really did want to push the rental car ads, see, the default maximum cost per click that we were going to pay was $2.50. But if we wanted it to show up more and get more clicks, we might increase that to $5. So that means that we've got more chance of showing up on the right-hand side of Google or the top 3 ads at the top. So you could do that. You could just increase the cost per click, and then you'll probably get more clicks and more impressions. How many interactions are you getting? So I said this earlier, is to me, I don't really care that much about impressions. I care more about interactions such as clicks, shares, or comments, because they generate more impressions anyway. So if we have a look over here, this was that Brinix ad I did. So we can see that it's had lots of likes, lots of comments, lots of shares, and lots of clicks, which it actually doesn't even say the impressions, which means the result was that it got more followers on the page. If we have a look in delivery, it reached over 36,000 people. And a lot of that is actually to do with people liking it, clicking it, and sharing it. And you look at that, the cost per 1,000 people was $13. So, if you go to, let's say, a newspaper and just say, right, I want to do a nationwide ad that might reach 100,000 people but cost you $10,000, whereas on Facebook or AdWords or LinkedIn, you can do an ad and it comes out at this cost, $13 per 1,000 people reached, which is just amazing. It's so much cheaper, but of course that's why newspaper advertising is dying. It's just what happens when a new media comes in. Right, so that's why you want to be looking at how many interactions you're getting, because that's the important metric. And all you need to be doing is creating more content that gets more interactions. It's hard to do because It's hard to find really good content, but as you do it more and more, you come to learn what content your audience likes, and then you just start creating better content. Now, the end bit is probably the hard bit, and that's how many new contacts have you made and how much sales have you done. So the easiest way to measure that is when you ran the campaign, just look at how many new contracts you've got for the month or how many products you sold. And for each of those customers, just ask them how they heard about you. So that's the easiest way to do it. So as an example, if somebody comes in, part of our processes when we take them through our strategy process of how to build a website is the very last question is, how did you hear about us? And they might say, oh, it was a referral from one of your clients, or we saw your e-newsletter. And then what we do is we note that down in a spreadsheet that says, right, this client came from, let's say, our e-newsletter, and about every 3 to 6 months, we total all those up and we can see that most of our clients come from our e-newsletter or from referrals from other clients. In fact, that is the truth. That's where most of our clients come from. And so you do the same thing with this, is you know that you've been doing social media posts and blogs. You might even be doing an e-newsletter. And every time a new client comes in, ask them how they heard about you. Something else that I do at the moment as well is if you do an e-newsletter, I compare where the new client came from to if they viewed my e-newsletter. So as an example, here's the last e-newsletter I sent out. The link to this blog had 30 clicks in it. I always put in a cutesy or a funny video from YouTube in it. But we can see that the SEO package that I was marketing, we've got a special on search engine optimization at the moment, 16 people clicked it. And if I go up here, I can see Shane clicked it. And if I hover over, we just got an SEO contract with Shane. So I know to attribute that sale to our e-newsletter system. Again, I know there's lots of numbers that you're looking at with all of these stats and stuff. What you want to do is try and simplify it as much as possible. So for me, the really important metrics are who's interacting with it, because that shows real interest. And then the second most important metric is who became a client from it and how much money did they generate. Because it doesn't matter how many views you're getting, even on your website or anything like that. The bottom line is, how much money did your business make from the campaign, and is it worth it doing it again, or does it need improving? And you can apply that to all your marketing. So as an example, we measure marketing for TV ads and our print media that we've done. And for us, newspapers doesn't really work. For some companies like Mad Butcher and stuff, it really does work. You know, he wouldn't be advertising with newspapers if it did. But for our company, it doesn't. So we've spent a few $1,000s on that, and we didn't get anything out of it. So we had the choice of, do we try and improve the ad, or do we reinvest those funds elsewhere? And of course, we reinvested it elsewhere. Same with radio, really works for some companies. You know, there's all those people that work in workshops that listen to the radio, they're listening to it all the time. That's a really good way to reach them. They aren't the people that buy our product, so that's not a good medium for us. Whereas our e-newsletter and LinkedIn as well, because our target market reads our e-newsletters and is on LinkedIn, then that's a good place for us to market. So again, don't concentrate too much on all the numbers. All you need to be thinking about is interactions, which will help you know what people like, and then what clients did you actually get from the contract. I hope you enjoyed this blog. Feel free to email me if you've got any questions, or go on our social media page and ask some questions.